This video is about podcasting, and we're going to start with setting up the microphone. It should be set up vertically like this. There's a volume knob you want to leave kind of low. You want to leave this mute button alone. On the other side, there's gain. You want to leave that about halfway. And then there's different settings for the mic, how you want it. We want to leave it on that circle setting so everyone can be heard on that. You're going to want to go to Launchpad and launch the app Adobe Audition. It's this teal AU. And once that opens up, you're going to close out this window here. And you're going to go up to File, New, Multi-Track Session. And this screen will pop up. And you can change the name of it to whatever you want to name this podcast so that it's unique. And then you can also click on Browse here to select where you want to save it. For our purposes right now, for the project, you can just save it on your desktop. And once you select that spot, you can go down here to Create. And this is really important. Under Template, go down here and make sure you have Podcast selected. And that way they have all the tracks already set up for you. You see here. As you can see here, there's a host track that's for the main talking. There's a track for interviews, a track for sound effects, and a track for music, audio, and other stuff. So it's everything you'll need, all the different tracks you'll need. Under the host track for the input, we're going to go on here and we're going to select a different input instead of the built-in mic. We're going to do this Yeti microphone that we set up. So that way, all the audio coming in for that is from the microphone. You'll click on this little mic here. You can test your levels. You really want your levels to be in the yellow and not too much in the green and not in the red at all. And that will be good levels for you on that. So once you've clicked on that R and you're seeing your levels and they look right, you're ready to start recording. You hit this red record button down here. And as you see, your track is then recording, and anything you're saying, don't worry, it can be edited, but it is recording, and you can even see the volume levels in there. And you can use those controls at the bottom to pause, play back, record again, any of that. It works for all of that. You can see down there, you can press the record button to stop, the pause button, play button. You can also move the marker to where you want to move it, this blue marker, play it back. That's also what you can use to edit it, and so on and so forth. Now, let's say you have an interview that you recorded on your phone that you want to bring in. We're going to bring it in on this interview track. You go to the media browser over here and you simply search for that file. If you airdropped it, it might be in your downloads. But find that file wherever you saved it. Like I said, if you airdropped it, it will be in your downloads. And any audio file, and actually I think any video file even, if you want the audio track from it, all you have to do is grab it, and it will double click, and you can actually kind of see what it looks like. But what you're looking for is getting back to your track by clicking on the project over here on the left, and you just drag and drop it in. So this is a whole long interview that we had. I'm not going to use this whole interview, so I'm going to come over here. Look at how long that is. I can adjust the scale of what I'm seeing if I want to fit it all in here. That way I can see the whole thing. And I'm just going to drag it down to where it's shorter. And I'm going to go even shorter here. Let's just say that we had a short clip. So I'm going to drag it this way. You can edit the part of the clip you want. Then I'm going to line it up to this other clip so that when we play, we've got our host audio, and then it goes into our interview. You can play with the volume knob over here. If you look on the track where my pointer is, you can adjust the volume down, adjust it up, and play with some of those things as well. Again, it's good to look at your levels at the bottom, and if I'm getting into the red a lot, I probably would want to turn this track down in audio a little bit so that it's not dominating. But as you can see, you can go back here and you can play through that, and it works great. Let's talk about adding a music track. So wherever you have a music file saved that you want to use, in this case I happen to have a few things in my iTunes here that I can use, but you're going to take that music track and you can simply bring it in the same way you brought in the interview audio and drop it into the music track. It's going to take a second to import it. That's a whole song. You don't have to use a whole song. You can edit it the same way we did the interview. You can adjust the volume of it so you don't want it to be distracting from your main content, but you can play with the volume over here, make those adjustments as you need. Again, if you want to trim it down, you can trim it down the same way that we did the interview clip. But this is how it works. So you can see my audio level on that's a little lower. Another way to edit it is using this razor blade tool up here, just like we would in Adobe Premiere Pro. You grab that tool, click somewhere, and it's going to splice that so you can actually move the track over. I'm accidentally adjusting the volume there. Move the track over, split it, and even delete it. So now we want to talk about when you're done, how do you export this thing? So you're going to go to File, Export, Multi-Track Mix Down. Then this is going to pop up with different settings. You can change the name of it, change the location using the Browse tool. I've already got some preset locations there, but I'm going to pick where I want to save it. For now, I'm going to save it on the desktop. We might have you turn it in on the server. You can ask me where I want you to turn it in, actually. But you're going to select what format it's in. And all these formats do different things, but I like the MP3 audio format for it. It works the best. And then you just simply say OK and OK again. And that thing will export. You can see it's telling you how much time it has. And if we minimize this, I saved mine to the desktop. So there it is. It's an MP3 file. And when I open it up, you'll see it opens it up in iTunes. So you can preview it there. And then we can upload it and people can have access to that podcast. That's how you do it.